Hey everybody. So I go by Cave, and I'll be speedrunning Returnal, the fresh file category. Just a few things about myself. I'm the current world record holder for all of the current patch categories. I'm an Aquarius, and for lunch today I had some leftovers. Joining me on commentary, I have xenwall and MentalToast. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hey,
I also can't hear either.
I'm MentalToast. I used to run the game. I'm still active in the community, but don't run it super often. I had some early records for any percent, and that's usually the category I run.
Hi, I'm xenwall. I'm fairly new to the community, and
Zen, I think you're muted.
oh, what? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. There we go.
Sorry about that. Yeah, hey, I'm xenwall. Fairly new to the community. Got 80% record up. I'm number 3, I think. Got a 430 PB, and still working on fresh file. This is a tough category you're about to watch Cave run.
Yeah, so before we get into it, before I start runs, I do switch some settings. The first is my controller mapping. I changed dash to L1 and melee to R1. This is for movement tech, and we'll explain that once we get there. Next in the gameplay one, I changed my sprint to always sprint for quality of life purposes, and I moved the mini-map distance out to 85%. This makes it easier for me to know which way I'm going when I enter rooms. And lastly, on video, in the HUD, I turn on the cycle time. This just helps me keep track of my pace and is also required for submitted runs if you are interested in running this game. So with that, I'm going to restart the cycle, and timer will start when I'm able to start moving. I'll count it down, and you can just start at go. So, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Returnal. We're running fresh file, which means it's from blank. And Zen, do you want to go more into Returnal and what running fresh file really means?
Yeah, so Returnal is an action roguelite from Housemarque. It draws heavily on their bullet hell arcade shooters that they previously made, so it focuses more on movement than pinpoint accuracy shots. Roguelite means that, for the most part, the rooms and enemies that he's going to be coming up against, as well as some of the equipment that drops in casual play, are randomized every time you die or restart a run. That won't come up too much, but the random rooms will be a big factor. So Cave will be entering a room and quickly assessing where he's coming in, looking for where he needs to leave, and that level of randomization is where a lot of the skill and intrigue comes from. Roguelite means that there are permanent upgrades, so it's actually fairly, once you get over the initial hurdle, it's fairly casual friendly in terms of getting back to where you were.
And I recommend this game. It's fantastic. So for the beginning sequences, this is the same for each fresh file run. The room structures and the rooms themselves will be the same. So this bit, I do go a little bit on autopilot. Coming up, though, we do have our first mini-boss. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen, they're trying to give us an overload tutorial, which I'll showcase here. Overloading is sort of like the Gears of War active reload, where if we get it within a certain time, it reloads our clip immediately and gives us an extra bullet or so in the clip, depending on the gun we're using. This first mini-boss, when I first played, I always assumed it was one that you're supposed to die to, but it's really just a get good kind of situation. It was one of the main reasons that stopped me from running fresh file originally, actually. So, there we go, boss is beaten. And now we're picking up our alternate fire capabilities. Alt fires are a big part of this game. They're a secondary shot for each of your guns, and usually do a lot of damage.
Highly effective.
And now, right after that, we unlock our first weapon. This is the tacky carbine. I've been told to call it the tacky by members of the community, so I'll either call it tacky or carbine. And it's basically good at shooting from long ranges and doing pretty decent damage. We'll be using this gun for 2 of the bosses in this run. As we're going through, each time I'm going into a room, I'm immediately looking for a door that is square and light blue. There's a couple different door types. Really quick to just explain that. I know it's a lot at once. The explaining will slow down once we get further in. But there, I cut through an animation where when Celine falls from high distances, That was an annoying hit. The no-hit run's dead. I'm sorry, everyone. Anyways, when Celine falls from a high distance, she'll do like a superhero landing. So there we mash triangle to start the cutscene by picking up the item before landing. And that item we picked up was just giving us the ability to teleport and use teleporters. Going back to the door thing, because I kind of skipped over that. So light blue doors are doors that are required and will bring us to the right spot. Then there's dark triangular doors on the mini-map. Those are optional doors. We will never go through any of those. Here we're skipping the shotgun. We don't use that on this run. Funnily enough, though, it is used in any percent, New Game Plus. There, in the corner, you might have caught a glimpse of a red door. Those are boss doors. We will be going through those. And the last type are challenge room doors. Those are yellow and marked with like a star. And we go through exactly one of those. This was also a decent house, right? What was that, 403? 404?
Yeah.
We take those. We take those.
There's also one other kind of door that has a circle over it, and those are usually shortcuts to the next areas of the game.
Right. Good call. All right, so here's our first trick, in quotation marks. Maybe a glitch. I don't know. It depends what your definition of a glitch is. We'll be doing lockdown skip here, though. Essentially, lockdowns, they lock you into a room, as the name states, and an enemy will spawn. We'll call those lockdown enemies. And what we're trying to do is if we keep running at the door while the enemy spawns, it'll allow us to skip the lockdown. And here we're picking up the sword, which leads us to our main movement tech, called the DMJ, if you want to go ahead and explain that, Toast.
Yeah, so DMJ stands, it's a shorthand for the 3 animation cancels in our main movement tech. It stands for dash melee jump. And to do it, you have to initiate a dash and then animation cancel it by using a melee, and then animation cancel that into jumping. And it's one of the reasons why we changed the control scheme for the game to have the bumpers to be the dash and the melee buttons. Just makes it far more comfortable and easy to get the muscle memory down. Otherwise, you're kind of clog ripping the controller. But with DMJ, you're able to jump and dash and keep that momentum throughout the rest of the game.
Yeah, you can technically DMJ with whatever control scheme you want. It's just, it does not feel great when you do it with... My bad, okay.
The entire community kind of had the entire community had a revelation when we found how much easier it is once you swap around the controls.
Had a bit of a brain fart there looking for the boss door. What I picked up in that last room was the boss key. In each biome, or most of them anyways, we'll be looking for a key to enter the boss area. And we're that's really annoying. And here we're gonna be doing our first boss, Freaky. So I'll quickly explain sort of the strat with Freaky, and then we can get into some donations. So for Freaky, she's got a bit of dinosaur arms, so for the most part, we can sit right underneath her and melee away. There's a couple attacks we'll have to dash away from, like this melee. But for the most part, we're using the alt fire on cooldown, hitting our overloads, and meleeing as fast as we can. So we got basically 3 phases of that. So Crunch, you can take it away with some donations.
All right, I am here to tell you an incredible thing. The bonus New Game Plus run for Returnal has in fact been met, so congratulations for that.
Hey.
Thank you all who donated and contributed to that. And some of those donations include a $350 donation from Big Gig, who says, Returnal is my personal game of the year. So here's to a great run. Super excited. We also have a $8.36 donation from Frosty Rune that says, I destroyed Helios. Let's see, we also have
That makes me so sad.
We have a $50 donation from Pascal Cat that says, Celine Squad hype!
Hype.
Hype.
Shoutouts to the Celine Squad. We also have an $8.36 donation from El Santiago. It says, Melee Celine of Celine Squad sending you support. Please melee kill Nemesis for last hit. You'll get EPD Tendril Pod. If so, Kappa.
Absolutely not.
We got a
possible?
$50 donation from Superior Drift, who says, representing Cave, fight the malformed cancers and go fast. Looking forward to your next IRL speedruns of of Tinder Talk dating strats. Go Celine Squad! Thank you so much for your contribution. Do we have time for one more?
One more.
All right, we got a $50 donation from Harry Samus that says, "Hey Cave, just doing a quick dono to manipulate the RNG."
Thank you. Yeah, shout out. I don't know. I could talk about Tinder Talk maybe. Probably not. So with that, we just killed Freaky. What just Freaky dropped was a key, and that gives us access to the next biome. This is part of the Returnal progression. Which way do I go? I think it's this way.
No, fine.
Nah, I was right.
I always forget that it's grayed out because you've always already been there. That's where you get the sword.
Right. So this is how progression works in Returnal. Bosses will often drop items that let you skip directly to the next biome, so you're not like totally starting over each time. And now we are in biome 2. At the start, I'm going to pick up a modular calibrator, which is used to upgrade our weapon proficiency, as well as a health vial, which is just nice, easy health to use whenever. One of you guys can sort of explain weapon proficiency. It's not super used in Fresh File, but you know, it's something to talk about as we DMJ through the desert. Which, by the way, if you ever want to learn how to DMJ, this is the best place to do it. It's really easy to just chain them together, and you got a lot of open space.
Proficiency is that number, currently number 5 on the bottom left. So every time you pick up a weapon, it gets different stat points. Some of them, different weapons have different traits. All of them have damage and then 2 additional traits. So they'll briefly pop up here. So there you saw, maybe he had 1 point in damage, 2 points in the other stats on a Hollow Secret that I have no idea what they do. But
Yeah.
proficiency 5 means 5 stat points. So higher proficiency, more stats, and potentially better traits. Again, which don't really factor into Fresh File.
Yeah, so here we picked up the Hollow Seeker. It's akin to an LMG, I guess. A lot of bullets, high rate of fire. Not the best damage. For some reason, it's really good for this next boss coming up. The Alt Fire, this is where Alt Fire starts to really impact the run. Freaky, Horizontal Barrage is really good against Freaky. But it's not like a huge difference between the other ones available. For this one, Void Beam is where it starts to become much faster. Unfortunately, we got Blast Shell, so we can't do Void Beam strats. But yeah, that's just sort of how RNG can play a role into these runs. I guess the other part of RNG is the room RNG. I know I said weapon RNG doesn't matter too much earlier, but it matters just for the alt fires. As far as the room RNG, tower is a pretty, or mountain rather, is a pretty big proponent of it. You can get some really bad rooms and some really decent ones. This is a solid time. I'm not mad at this.
You can't get any lockdowns going up the mountain, can you?
No, I've never. Maybe in optional rooms, or like the challenge room probably does it.
Yeah, I don't think I've run into any either.
That would be a real tilter. If first time ever. That's a GDQ bingo card moment. Okay, so here we get to talk about adrenaline. Actually, we're gonna quickly grind adrenaline just because they practically give it to us. Every 3 kills, you go up an adrenaline level. You can see it in the middle. And the first adrenaline level gives us enhanced overload, which means we can overload faster. And yeah, we can talk about the other ones after this fight. I was going to quickly go on about Ixion. We're just going to dodge and try to attack the head, because Ixion, for some reason, is one of the only bosses that has a critical point and can be staggered. So that's really it. And then we use Alt Fire on cooldown. We can do donations during these first 2 phases, Crank. During phase 3, I'll just do a quick explanation because things really heat up during that phase.
Sure thing. Would you like me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off with a $250 donation from Anonymous that just says, "Here's to you." We also have a $10 donation from Popcorn Jacob that says, "Celine Squad." We also have a $50 donation from K-Marks that says, "Celine Squad is watching and so freaking stoked. We loved watching you these past few months." Less than 3.
Yeah, Celine Squad.
Shout out to Celine Squad. We also have a $20 donation from That's So Rabbin that says, "Use this to buy yourself a tacky." and shoot cancer in the nuts. Let's see. We also have a $500 donation from Milk Parent that says, "Hey Xenwall, super proud of you for commentating this run. Both of my parents are cancer survivors due to early detection, and this is a wonderful cause. Thank you so much." Do we still have time?
Yeah, I'd take like 2 more.
All right. We have a $25 donation from Stevie that says, "Hey little bro, I'm pumped to see you speed running Returnal at AGDQ and utilizing the controller skills that I've taught you. Donating towards the bonus New Game Plus incentive so you can give the viewers what they really want. A new world record. Best of luck. Yes, ladies, he's single."
Yeah, that's part of
What a
the,
loving brother.
Anyways. Not actually my blood brother, but shout out Stevie. Figuratively.
One more quick one. We have a $500 donation from Professor Harkness that says, "Is cancer gone yet? No. There's more work to do then. Thank you for all you do."
Nice. You probably got time for one more.
All right, I'll squeeze in one more. We got Shiny Akuma donating $100 that says, "My wife and I watch GDQ twice a year and always talk about donating. We lost my dad to cancer last week, and now is the time to donate for him. Thank you so much, Shiny Akuma."
Yeah, thank you everyone. Keep donating. We got some crazy incentives coming up. I know we got the Dead Rising final boss fight. That should be neat. So get those donations in for that.
Yeah, we are currently at 2,800 out of 7,500 for that. So please get your donations in as soon as possible.
So here we have the third phase. Ixion does do this bit before the second phase as well. It's kind of an auto scroller, and why we like Void Beam, because Void Beam basically ends this phase before it even begins. But here in the third phase, Ixion will pull out his sword and stay on the ground. And I mentioned this in the interview, but this is where Ixion really starts to do damage, and I still have my health vial, so I feel pretty good. But we're going to utilize the DMJ to create space between sword hits and shockwaves. Fun fact about this attack, I'm pretty sure it was buffed in the latest patch. I'm pretty sure Ixion didn't always used to do that second swing. One of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But for the most part, we're just going to keep away and keep our eyes on Ixion and avoiding attacks. Try not to get hit, you know?
And Cave, this is one of the only fights that you use DMJ to actually in a fight, right?
Yeah, very rarely do you use DMJ for movement in fights. Because a lot of the fights aren't really so up and personal, to be honest. There I do strategy to stop Ixion from doing those annoying dashes. By running up on Ixion, he'll go to the next part if he gets too close. So we try to run underneath him there to provoke him to stop dashing. And I don't know. I guess I can briefly mention it. This is where we do Tinder talk normally on streams, where I give out relationship advice very poorly. So that's Ixion. Ixion will give us access to the grapple shot. Again, similar to the key that Freaky gave us. This is a way to progress directly to Biome 3 from Biome 1 if we were to die. And it's great for movement outside of, just progression. Celine can't be hurt while grappling, which is super nice. It's also just good for movement reasons and we're going fast. And now we're heading into Biome 3. Biome 3 is an interesting one. Here we're going to immediately start looking for a Tacky. Because the Tacky just makes the boss fight very easy. And I mean, I'm already walking in with 2 health vials, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. Oh, Tacky off rip for the people? Not quite. As far as alt fires go, they don't really matter in for Nemesis. There's a couple that are just straight up unusable, but I mean, there's not any that like drastically change the fight. The first step of this biome, however, is going to be activating a bridge that lets us get over to that left half.
And with the ability to shortcut to these later biomes, you'll notice that Cave's now 9 proficiency. Each time you enter, they usually give you a health pack along with an item that kind of catches you up level-wise so that you're not too far behind.
Yo, I'm so
without
happy.
having to kill the enemies.
So we got the Frosty skip.
Yeah,
oh, we got
Frosty.
no... That's awful. We got no chest stuff. That's... Okay, wait. I'm actually gonna... Okay, just for like GDQ reasons, I'm gonna really quick look at other chests. for marathon purpose reasons. That is the Frosty skip though. What you do is you skip all the way up to that ledge. I'm sorry, Frosty, for not finishing it, but we really need a carbine. I'm really not trying to do a pistol nemesis. That would make me unhappy. But that skip is huge. It's actually found by a person in the community that joined like very recently, which kind of hammers in the point that this game is, jeez, okay, this is, the luck's a little abysmal. But like I said, it kind of hammers in the point that this is like a very new speed game. So this right here is where we would have skipped to using the Frosty skip. But yeah, it kind of hammers in the point that this is still like a new speed game. And we're still finding routes and stuff. This is also an awful room. Biome 3 has not been nice so far.
In these rooms, they disable the dash so you can't run through them.
Jeez. Okay, well, hopefully we get fast tower. Fast tower. If we get fast tower, I'll forgive this tower activation segment. We actually lost so much time here. That's crazy.
Still no tacky either.
Still no taggy. That's the real bump. Yeah, so 19-minute bridge activation isn't fantastic, but we're not dead, and we did our due diligence looking for a weapon.
It's worth noting that Cave here is the world record holder in every category, so his consideration of not decent is world record pace typically.
Right. I think in my record run, I activate that bridge at
I'm currently crossing the
17:30, something like that.
Proceeding towards the tower, broadcasting
And that's with like I got void beam for Ixion. And oh, we got slow tower too.
Oh, that knocks out a
That's so
chest,
sad.
doesn't it?
That's not great. It also reduces chest opportunities because fast tower has like 2. And I don't know if slow tower has any. What I'm saying there, I realize I'm saying fast tower and slow tower with 0 context. In this tower, there's 2 halves you can divide it into. The bottom half, we have fast tower and slow tower. The fast tower is way quicker and also gives a chest opportunity, which is why we strongly prefer it. But we got slow tower. I think fast tower probably saves like ballpark 20 seconds. Alright, we do get one last chest opportunity here though. Oh, if it's malignant, it's gonna be a bad look.
There is a chest at the bottom there, at one of the doors that opened. Oh, but we got attacked.
I did not want it. I cannot emphasize how much I did not want to do pistol nemesis. It's not. It is a little slower. It's not a lot slower. It's just I have to like trigger finger the whole fight, and I don't. I don't know if that's really what we want to do.
White shadow.
It's a bit of a killer on the forearms. Alright, yeah, we're coming up on Nemesis. Nemesis with the tacky is a little trivial. We're just gonna, keep our space, avoid projectiles, and kind of just strafe back and forth. I usually like to get adrenaline for this fight by killing enemies. It just completely slipped my mind. I'll be honest. I was too stressed out about finding the carbine. I forgot about adrenaline. But this is all we're gonna be doing for Nemesis. Aim for the weak point, going back and forth and dodging projectiles. Most of the time by just walking side to side, you'll dodge some, and then for the lasers that do come on the bottom, I just dash through them. So Craig, you can go ahead and read off some donations during this fight.
Can we actually touch on what this fight looks like for New Game Plus? Say all bosses or all biomes? It's significant. Yeah. You mentioned the shotgun earlier.
Yeah, it's way faster. We use the shotgun with Narrow Maw as a weapon trait and Rapid Spitter, and we essentially just hug the front wall and blast away, and it deletes Nemesis pretty quickly. It's a pretty cool fight to watch. If you ever have time and are hanging around the Returnal leaderboards on speed on the SRC, I'd recommend looking at it. It's kind of cool.
Phase 3 with the shotgun is especially pretty flashy.
Phase 3 is pretty, yeah. And I guess I'll quickly mention Phase 3. Phase 3, normally you're meant to sort of get close to Nemesis as Nemesis throws off a lot of attacks. With the carbine, you can hit Nemesis all the way from the back, which stops Nemesis from firing off some of those annoying attacks, and you got to look out for the side lasers. So that's what we'll be doing for that. I think we're good for donations now.
All right, sounds good. We have a $50 donation from Crunch Prank. It says, I've been watching GDQ for years, but didn't decide to speedrun until I played Returnal. Why I chose such a painful and punishing game as my first to run, I have no idea. But I'm so glad I did because the community has been so helpful. Cave especially. Here's to the hardest working runner we got. Have a good run, buddy.
Thank you.
Let's see. We also have a $1,000 donation from Jamie. Jamie says, this one goes out to my mom, who loves supporting good causes like the Prevent Cancer Foundation. GDQ is such a wonderful, accepting community. Thank you all for all you do. Let's go, New Game Plus. Thank you so much, Jamie, for your generosity. We also have a $50 donation from Nick Liesel Freiman, who says, Games Done Quick is a staple of my year, and I'm so happy to be able to donate to it. Thank you to all the runners, all of the hosts, all of the tech team, and all of the viewers and donators for everything you do to help us find a cure for cancer, which takes too many people from us every year. Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much.
Yeah, shout out tech team. I've never seen this attack. Continue with donations. I'm sorry.
You got it. All right, we got a $30 donation from Shadowcat, who says, here's my first donation. Gotta go fast. We also have a $25 donation from Archduke of High Bears. It says, prizes gather in their masses. Stack so high, I need my glasses. Send and shout, we'll tell you how. Click the button and donate now. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Sent and the Prizes team. They do have some incredible prizes. Please do check them out and get your donations in before any of them close out. Let's see, we have a $1,000 donation from Atis. It says, last year was a hard year in my family for cancer, so this donation is to help others avoid going through the same. Thank you so much, Atis. Do we have time for a few more?
Yeah, I'd say like 2 more probably.
All right, sounds good. We have a $150 donation from Alex Schroeder that says, been watching for several years since I was in high school. Finally earned enough to donate some. Kick cancer's butt. Let's see, we also have a $100 donation from Cosmic View that says, thanks GDQ staff and runners for all the hard work. It's so fun to have spooky speedruns at night each GDQ.
Thank you everyone for the donations again. Keep them coming for a great cause. And it also makes me go faster. 100%. So that was Nemesis, and this wraps up Act 1. We got a low 25. You know, I'm happy we didn't die. Can I say that? Now we have an unskippable cutscene. I think my road record run, I think that came in at like 23:30. Something like I don't think I've ever touched that time since then. I usually try to go under 25, but being in the 25 range is good. You know, it wasn't 26.
So the game is now. Sorry, go ahead, Zed.
Yeah, especially if you're having to find a carbine.
Yeah, that was the killer. That probably added a minute. I don't know time.
That was the main
numbers
thing.
are up. Yeah. I'm gonna say it added like 2 minutes, and that this one would be world record pace if not for that.
Easily.
So the game is now transitioning to what we call Act 2. Returnal split into 2 acts, each with 3 biomes within them. From now on, anytime if Cave were to die, he would respawn in Act 2, which is why we take it for the any % category for the game. It's just much easier than having to take the shortcut, which is like a 30-second kind of extra time skip, doesn't add to the time or anything. So from here on out, he's now about the halfway point of the game.
Yep. Act 1 is, I think, like a little longer. Speedrunning wise, anyways, gameplay wise, it's about the same. And here at the start, we have a. It's more of a narrative thing. If you haven't played Returnal and you own a PlayStation 5, I cannot recommend it enough. Casually, absolutely fantastic. Zen just explained the story to me like a week ago, and that made it even better.
This whole thing is metaphor.
Well, hey, wait. You let them figure that out, Zen.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Can I at least say that, so I got my degree in game design and programming, and that was, gosh, a long time ago now.
No.
This is, I believe, Returnal is the best single example of interactive media to, what sets it apart from traditional media, the story and narrative that Returnal tells and the way that it makes you feel it is not something that would be possible in movies or books or TV. It's truly unique and amazing. Cannot recommend it.
Yep, exactly. So you may have saw I just picked up the tendril pod, or not that. Whoops, that's the all fire we're hoping for. I picked up the electro pylon driver. We're gonna use this gun the rest of the run. It's great. You can shoot from far away and it does damage over time. Here we're gonna do another lockdown skip. This is the only lockdown required, or that's gonna happen every time in this section. Biome 4, we gotta collect 2 keys to enter the boss room. We're hoping that we only get this lockdown here that we have to skip. Otherwise, it's just time loss. As far as the driver itself, we're hoping we get tendril pods. This is actually the biggest time save as far as all fires go. Getting tendril pods can save up to like 1.5 minutes on the boss fight. Oh, that's gonna be damage. Oops. And yeah, like I said, we're basically just hoping for no lockdowns. So far, so good. The only lockdown being the one that's required. And yeah, I think we. Oh, you know what we can talk about? I think I mentioned this while we have time, but one of the reasons I really wanted to run this game at AGDQ was because IGN recently released their Devs React video, which was superb. Shout out to the Housemarque guys that did it. They did a great job talking about the backstory and everything. Kind of threw me off when they called Frike freaky and made me have to relearn it, but that's besides the point. The main reason is we have a big difference in the game from now compared to them. That being the Void Beam glitch. That's been patched out of the game, but essentially what it was is it was an alternate fire that would fire continuously. And you, we can't do,
It draws me.
can't do the new
That's the
skip.
white shadow tower.
Anyways, we don't have Void Beam glitch anymore, which saved a lot of time during boss fights. And despite that, we've still lowered the world record by like 4 minutes since then. So, you know, I just wanted to give a chance to show that this game has been growing a lot since that run happened. And, you know, we're a growing community. Shout out to OK. He was the real maverick of this fresh file stuff. That man was doing fresh file runs by himself for like the entirety of the start of this game.
He was an
While
absolute
everyone else was
madman.
doing
He really
the
pioneered
Any
this
Percent
category.
or New Game Plus stuff. So now here we're at Hyperion, which is an awesome fight narrative-wise, as well as just visually and sound-wise. My only complaint is that it could use more cowbell, but that's besides the point. All we're going to do is we're kind of just going to sit in the back and strafe back and forth and let the pylon do the work for us. This is a slow pylon. We're looking out for certain animations to sort of key off if it's a slow or fast one. The fact that we saw a third purple laser there means that this is definitely on the slower side. And yeah, pretty much the whole fight we're going to be strafing back and forth. Each phase is has 2 halves to it. The first half, Hyperion will be off the piano or organ player, whichever I guess you want to call it. And we'll do some closer up attacks. And in the second half of each phase, they'll be on the piano shooting orbs from the top of the organ. So with that, Crank, you can go ahead and do some more donations during these last few phases.
Sounds good. I would like to take a moment, however, to once again congratulate everyone for meeting the New Game Plus Returnal bonus run, but that does mean that Dead Rising now could use our support. Right now they're sitting at 4,088 out of 7,500 needed for the final boss fight, so please contribute to that. Get that in as soon as you can. Now back to donations. We got $260 from Agro Mazzy. It says, watching the event with my girlfriend who lives 4 hours away. Thanks to everyone putting on such a fun event. We are both enjoying it so much. Thank you very much. We are also getting in so many anonymous donations just pouring in, such as a $500 from Anonymous, no comment. Another $500 from Anonymous, no comment. We even have a $250 donation from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you all so much for your support. Speaking of no comment, Sarah Knox leaves no comment and donates $250. No comment, no problem. Thank you very much. We also have Melanomi donating $252.50. That is, again, with no comment. Norris Drifter, $250. No comment. Thank you all so much for your support. We also have, let's see, Frosty Rune donating $5, saying you didn't commit, so the chests punished you. Hope you're happy. Kill the cancer. Thank you so much, Frosty Rune. Also have $100 from Leyland that says, "It's amazing what people can accomplish collectively when they unite to make a change. So inspiring. Love you all." Know you. You are also very inspiring. We have, let's see, a $25 donation from Wing that says, "My mom was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer in 2020, and it's been very hard for us. Thank you for raising money for the cause. AGDQ, you guys are awesome." Can't emphasize that enough. All of the work that goes into AGDQ, all of the different teams, all of the runners, thank you all so much for your hard work going for a great cause. We have a $15 donation from Izzy that says, "Donation in honor of my grandfather who has stage 3 cancer, and on behalf of my 1-year-old who has been obsessed with GDQ and video games since he was born." Shoutouts to the new gamer.
Shouts out. So yeah, that was Hyperion. And now we're going to dash before hitting the bottom and grapple to skip the Lawn Fallen animation. And we're going to Biome 5. Now I can be happy because from this point on is where I've actually practiced my death backups. It would have been a bit of a rough look if I had died prior to this. But, you know, we just figured it out, right?
This isn't.
Biome 5, similar to Biome 2, we have to pick up keys, try to enter in the boss area. This one basically puts us through 3 different gauntlets of just tough enemies, tough biomes, areas,
When are we?
and hard-hitting enemies to get to the door. So, you know, hopefully we get minimal lockdowns. That's the main one. We're going to look at chests and occasionally enemies to see if we can get an upgraded driver. The only time we won't one of these upgrades is if the driver has pylon web on it. This is the one place in the entire game we will actually be upgraded. Oh, I might get hit here. Never mind. Because we have to. This is where we have to do a challenge room. Oh, I really thought we were going to get no lockdown. I did practice safety shots here.
Made it.
There we
If that
go.
dog gets too close, we will go kill him instead of just blindly running at the door hoping for the best. Wait for it. Hold. All right, we're good. Love that. Yeah, that's great.
All right, everyone, we'll be right back. We are having a few technical difficulties. We want to make sure the show is as perfect as possible for you. So sit tight, relax. We'll be right back. While we are all here, I would like to remind you we are donating to the Prevent Cancer Foundation all week long. Thank you all for tuning in and showing support. Greatly appreciate it. For those of you who might be wondering, what is PCF? Why is it so awesome? Well, I would love to tell you. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a US-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision is to stop cancer before it starts. Now that's a slogan I can get behind. You want to find out more? Please visit the PCF website at preventcancer.org. All right, it is. I am extremely excited to tell you that we are ready to go back to the run. Thank you for sitting tight, everyone. Welcome back.
Yeah, my bad, everyone. Seems the internet caught me with my pants down a little bit. So with that said, we can resume the timer as soon as I unpause. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right. I had to quickly try to remember where I was in this fight.
Yeah, these fights are tough enough, especially with the purple beam.
I dispatched the centaurs.
Yeah, that purple beam is by far my least favorite malformed severed. But we got through it.
Yeah, so
And we're going to grab our first of 3 keys.
malformed is another one of those random aspects. You'll notice when he was fighting that boss, there were those purple beams sweeping through. For one, purple means that you cannot dash through it. You have iframes during your dash, but purple will still hit you during your dash. And for 2, these malformed enemies will have a random trait. So that one had the purple sweeping beams. There are others that are send out red shock waves or put up purple walls. Just one of those things that you have to adapt to. It keeps every single run fresh and interesting.
Malfunctions are also something that Celine can get. But I don't really opt to pick up any of the things that can give me malfunctions just because it's slower and there's really not a whole lot of benefit to them in a speedrun. Casually, it's very fun to do. Which again, cannot emphasize enough how great this game is casually.
Yeah, for speedrun, there's just not enough benefits that you could get that will outweigh them.
No way that both of them are the laser one. I mean, there's no way both are, right? How annoying. I try to think of different ways to like guarantee avoiding it. I think it's just a lot of hope. I think if you change like what elevation you're at, it helps a lot.
Oh, is that it? Oh,
Yeah, I think it
I
takes
thought that you were
older
like
color.
how to not roll sweeping laser beams. Like entering the room, if you jump a little higher,
Oh,
then
right,
the
right.
RNG is manipulated.
Yeah, heck yeah. Ooh, we got a fat upgrade. That's sick. And the best part is that it doesn't have pylon web as the weapon trait. But that was a lot of extra bonus damage, which is really nice because we're coming up on the challenge room. Then after that, the boss room. So we'll finally get to see what I don't think they're actually called challenge rooms. I think they're called something else. But you know, I don't even know enemy names. I opted to call the enemies tentacle dogs and octopuses. So they do have cool names in lore though. I'm just a little behind on the uptake on those. So in a challenge room, what we're going to be looking at is basically 3 waves of enemies that progressively get harder. So we're just going to try to kill all the enemies as fast as we can. Another fun note about this game in general is that I think in the most recent patch they added shields on some of these tentacle dog enemies.
That's that red thing right there.
Yeah, and for shields you have to melee them. You can't shoot through those. So that's the first one.
My first casual playthrough of this room was one of my first blockers.
Oh yeah,
100%.
this whole biome is a huge blocker, I think, for a lot of first casual playthroughs.
Yeah.
This biome's brutal.
Each of these keys that he's picking up are not something that you'll keep after each death, so you have to clear all 3 rings of these in a single life.
Yeah, so keys are not one of the. Have you ever seen a like one of those banshee enemies
No,
spawn in
I
here?
hate those bats.
I don't know. That's kind of
Got
weird.
lost somewhere.
Wait a second. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. How many? Oh, nice. We only got 2. That's pretty nice. Oh, maybe we did get 3. I'm a little nervous about where the second one's gonna tell. Yeah, I knew it. they have a tendency to sneak up on you a little bit when there's several and you're working on fighting one.
So casually, there is one of these challenge rooms in every single biome, and they usually give you some very good rewards. So it can be a fun challenge if you're properly equipped to get further ahead.
All right, we lived. And with that, now we have enough keys to open up the boss door. So I'm gonna need everyone to pray for me for this one. I need all the good lucks in chat. This biome has been brutally tough,
It is
and now we're about to go through the boss door.
it is the hardest biome for a reason.
Oh, there's no boss. For whatever reason, there's no boss in this biome, which, I mean, when I was playing casually for the first time was just a huge sigh of relief. Because I was not ready for that action.
It welcomes me.
But here we are into Biome 6. This is the last biome. Most notably, we now get really cool looking DMJs, since we have underwater physics.
Feels
So our
so
DMJs
good to
will
jump around
send us
here.
launching. A lot of fun. Housework, please never take DMJs from us. I'm begging you.
The only thing that... Sorry, go ahead, Zen.
That, like you were saying, this is a fairly young community. You'll notice that a lot of what we're doing is just playing the game well. There are some theoretical things that could be really nice, like there in Biome 5, there's no boss, so if there's some way to get through or around that door, we can skip the entire biome. So if there are tech chasers out there that are looking for a game that still has a lot of potential undiscovered tech, this is a great one to look into. And then Biome 6 here, there's a lot of, you'll notice you're not roped in, you've got these real big floaty DMJs, tons of exploration.
Yeah, which that allows us for our main skip. Here, you're meant to fight a mini boss down there to get access to the orb. That's a GDQ thing, right?
Hey, orb.
Yeah, so now you have access to see these floating orbs, which give us platforms. You're meant to fight a boss down there to gain access to go around, but we can just DMJ over it with a long one. And here we're at our final descent. Down here, we're just picking up one boss key and then doing the boss fight. I know I had to tech pause, but as a quick note, my world record was about 2 minutes ago, which kind of just shows how RNG can really impact this game, the variance between runs. I mean, how long was the pause total, you think? Like 2 minutes max?
Yeah.
So even then, I'm still, beyond my world record.
Though it is worth noting, there are some games where variance like that means you can't finish the game. This one, it just means it's a little slower. Like, there's nothing variance-wise that'll completely stop you from finishing the game.
It makes for speedrunning it a lot of fun, since there's just aspects that are out of your control. So sometimes you can get really lucky, and sometimes you can get really unlucky.
And again, the movement just fit. Okay, here we're going to really hope this enemy doesn't wake up. I've had a couple practice runs where he does. It kind of just makes a mess of the whole thing. Because he will one-hit me. Or get close to it. And I'd have to actually stop and try to fight him. But thankfully, the horse octopus left us alone.
You call it a horse octopus?
It's some sort of animal mixed with an octopus, for sure.
I'm too busy dying to even notice.
Alright, so here we're going to shoot the final orb. That's a lie. We have to shoot a couple for the boss fight. Oh, please. Nice, I got the extra dash. What? Oh! Was that a malfunction missile? Why were there malfunction missiles?
Maybe it did wake up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for headphone people. I got a little afraid.
So there's an enemy in some of the previous rooms that will shoot these missiles that give you a random malfunction, and they can be absolute running.
They will chase you down. Yeah, they will chase you down, apparently. But this is our last fight, Ophion. All we're going to be doing is shooting these orbs, which will reveal weak points. And that's really all there is to it. Nothing too crazy. So, Crank, for the last time, you can go ahead and do some donations.
Will do. We have a $250 donation from Avian that says, Returnal is my favorite PS5 game, and it's amazing to see a game that I, and so many others, struggled so hard to beat, get utterly destroyed. Is awesome. Go Cave! And as we do wrap up on Returnal, I do gotta say that we are at $5,908 out of $7,500 for Dead Rising. To fight the final boss, we are cutting it close, chat. Come on, I know you guys can give it that final push that it needs to get through. Keep up the hard work. We also have a $100 donation from Big Hug that says, do well, do good, go fast. We have a $500 donation from Anonymous that says, quote, a $500 donation from Anonymous that says no comment. Nice try, Anonymous. I got you. We also have another $500 donation from Anonymous that says yes comment. Thank you very much. We also have a $250 donation from Toaster and a $250 donation from Gadget Girl Games, both with no comment. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah, thanks again to everyone that's donated. Keep it up. We definitely got to see that final boss on Dead Rising.
Absolutely.
So with that, we finished Ophion, the final boss. We DMJ behind Ophion because it's quicker to get down to this final drop from the back than the front. And yeah. And I'm happy I didn't die. My internet died a little bit, but that doesn't count. And yeah, I can start, we're going to have time coming up when... I almost forgot that I have to tell someone to stop. Time's going to come up when the cutscene starts here. Which is going to happen... Time. Nice.
Good run.
Deathless.
Good run.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm not mad at that. What does the GDQ timer say? If any of you can see it.
Just waiting for stream delay to catch up.
Oh, true. But yeah, as I'm getting, but so Fresh File got met also, right?
Yes, it did.
Cool. All right, I'll start getting that set up then. In the meantime, just some quick thank yous. Shout out to this Returnal speedrunning community. Like it's been mentioned several times, we're still pretty young. If you want to try this out, this looked like fun, especially the next run. For anyone that wants to get into it, I highly recommend our New Game Plus 90% run. I'd recommend joining. You can find the Discord link on our SRC channel, whatever it's called, that leaderboard. And yeah, we have, me and Zen and anyone else will be willing to help out anyone that's new and wants to try it out. So shout out to some of the guys in there, new and old. Shout out to Celine Squad, all the donations, that was huge. And just, hanging out in stream and letting us do our Tinder talks and also doing your own streams that are fun to watch to see Returnal played the right way. And also, shout out to some other people like Rose, Stevie, my other friends and family that were watching. You guys rock. Toast and Zen, you guys have any shout outs while I'm fixing my mini-map distance?
Quick shout out to Uprisen, another runner in the community. He was one of the first runners that also really popularized DMJ, which without that would be a very different run.
Yeah, Cave already mentioned it, but the Returnal speedrun Discord has been super helpful. A lot of folks in there. This is our first speed game, and it really wouldn't be like that if it weren't for all of the help in there, helping new talent come in. Like he mentioned, Frosty Skip. He had the game for maybe 10 days and is already showing some new skips. So there's a lot of untread territory. It's good stuff.
Right.
Great people.
So with that, I'm going to go ahead and restart cycle. This is going to be the start of the New Game Plus 90% run. Just to quickly, briefly go over it, we start in Act 2 and not Act 1 because Act 1 takes all of 15 seconds. And this is a very reset-heavy run as we're looking for good RNG. So having to restart the cycle, which would bring us back to Biome 4 and not Biome 1, which means we would have to go through the spaceship, get out of the spaceship, restart the cycle again, and all that just for 15 seconds of gameplay. It's just kind of tedious. So for any purists, I'm sorry. But we do start this run in Biome 4. So I'll give a countdown for this timer. Sorry. All right, sweet. So we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So Biome 4, we got an awful room off rip, but I told myself I'm not going to reset under any circumstance. And if I was grinding for a record normally, that would be a reset immediately. This file I have set up only has the pistol and Dreadbound unlocked. Dreadbound is a gun we didn't use during Fresh File. But the reason I do this is because we want a very specific setup for the Ophion fight at the end. And chess will give us a random gun out of all the ones in the pool. So we set up a file to reduce our possible gun rolls.
To increase the chances of getting something that you do want rather than pulling from the pool of all of the weapons. You can pull from either a pistol and any of the ones you specifically unlock.
Exactly. Here we have a house. We call that house percent. My record for it is 27 seconds. There I had a 41. If I'm grinding for record, I'll usually reset if it's anything above a 35. So that's where a lot of resets come and why I don't normally stream this category, because it's not really fun to watch you play 30 seconds and reset over and over and over. But that was Biome 4, and now we're going straight to Biome 6, which is where the game ends. So here we're going to pick up the calibrator so that we can get better guns. And whoops. For the sake of the marathon, I'm going to go ahead and look at all the chests, even if they're inconvenient, and try to get a... So that's not a dreadbound we want, for example. Also, we're going to die here. Not die, but you know. Because I think the real reason I wanted to show this off wasn't to, you know, show off a ridiculous time. I mean, partially that, because it is...
DMJ into the rock.
This is
a little more
this is
into the
RNG
rocks.
manipulation.
RNG manipulation.
This is RNG
This
manipulation.
is making sure the next chest is
for
the
a
right
better
weapon.
gun. Yeah.
It was a very specific
yeah, we're
spot you
looking
fell.
Oh, we're getting awful rooms, by the way.
This room is a rock killer.
That skip took a while to find as well, this little ledge.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's
I swear,
straight.
this is
It does
it's
not
a
want to
this
be.
these usually go faster. Oh no. All right. There we go. Jeez. All right. We're also they're not giving us a whole lot of chest opportunities.
Yeah, this is rough.
This might be a... Oh, jeez. That's malignant.
Did you get explosive 3 or expanding 3?
That's malignant. That's also not the right way. Where is the right way?
You can get a weapon off of that guy. Shield summoner to the left.
I'm gonna die.
Oh.
This is off. Oh no.
Chest boss is much harder than Orpheon.
This is the epitome of marathon luck. Also kind of emphasizes why this is a run that's really reset heavy. We get one last chance here. That's not great. I'm gonna keep the dreadbound.
Oh.
Can I do one more? Do we got time for like another 5 minutes? I'd say max.
Yeah.
Okay. This time for Shurzy.
No chest this time.
Right.
Straight to the boss.
No. Right. So back in Biome 4. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. That's just kind of the unfortunate part of running any percent in this game, is that it is RNG dependent regardless. That was some pretty absurdly bad chest luck, admittedly. As far as, because we're looking for rooms that have chests, basically. Because we need to have opportunities to find the gun in order to even roll for it. Here we're going to actually get a pretty good house, at least. That's cool. Got a 34, 35 house. Yeah, this category has evolved in a real funny way. But prior to the Dreadbound, or originally I guess we were using either the driver or the pistol to kill Ophion with certain traits. And then one night, a guy in the community, Ryder, he uploaded a world record video. And I was watching, I was like, he's going to Ophion, like, really behind pace. And I was confused, and he was using this gun called the Coil Spine Shredder, which I had never used, even casually, and absolutely erased Ophion. And I think that night, me and Toast, were on like a frantic rush to create a new save file, start using the Shredder.
It was immediately checking the test to see if you could manipulate the RNG in chess, and then seeing, okay, can we beat the whole game with a pistol and create a save file specifically for this run? And yeah, we spent most of the night doing just that.
And now it's evolved from Shredder very recently. Like, I'd say, oh my goodness. So this one was missing Expandin', I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it has fourth. Yeesh.
If there are any summoners with a shield, you melee them, guaranteed weapon drop.
Yeah, I'll probably start checking that if we get a little further in with no luck. Which is now. I'm gonna die. This is awful.
Yeah, this counts as that hasn't happened before.
We're gonna be safe. Oh, nice. So these are the kind of rooms we're looking for. these are the kinds we've been looking for.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's the perfect gun. That is. Just please don't die on the second descent. Do I have. Oh, okay. This might be a little scummy, but we're gonna turn online mode on, and we're gonna go get some obolites to buy health. If Jim from Celine Squad is watching, I'm sorry. Wait, is this enough? Oh my, that's photo mode. Very cool, by the way.
No,
not really part of the
get a
speed
small
run.
one there. Oh no, even
Was
that's
I?
150.
All right, we're gonna try to be careful as we fall here and not die then. because this is the perfect dread round, and I would like to show how awesome weapon traits are in this game. And see, like that right there, it absolutely blew up all those enemies.
And Cave will
I'm gonna
have
take this
some
slow
health
also.
opportunities at the last boss as well.
Yeah. So just as a quick pace checkup, normally when I'm at this door, I try to be at like 246 to 250. So this is on the slower side, which occurs because I was really going out of the way to find some chests. But this is going to be Ophion with a Dreadbound, with Explosive Shards 3, Fourth Shards 3, and Expanded Shards 3. And note that I didn't pick up any sort of power-ups or parasites.
I crossed light.
So that's phase 1.
It never gets old.
This is going to be phase 2.
And when we found the coil spine, we didn't think there was anything that could be faster than it. So the fact that this is so much faster.
We're actually locked behind Ophion's attack animation there. We go so fast.
And that's phase 3. So I'm glad, it took us a little bit to get there, but I'm glad we got the gun, as we like to call it.
Time will be
But yeah,
coming.
that's kind of what makes Returnal so fun, is that, these weapon traits really turn some of these guns that you'd never think of using into absolute beasts. So again, thank you, Housemarque, for making such a good game that, should have at least been nominated, right? I don't want to...
It won some.
I don't want to get anyone riled. I don't want to get anyone riled up. But,
There were a number of publications that gave it the Game of the Year.
right.
And if you don't like...
And then here, because we have Secret Ending, we can finish at the car. I'm going to skip these cutscenes because, really should be something you experience yourself. I'm going to skip this because DMCA. But yeah, that's Returnal. Thank you, Zen and Toast, for commentating. Shout out to the tech crew and producers and everyone behind the scenes that does all the work, getting this set up. And shout out to everyone that's donating. Keep it up. It's for a really good cause. Thank you.
All right, welcome back, and congratulations to that that amazing Returnal run. And as we ease off of the Returnal hype, I would like to get in a $1,000 donation from Ezekiel the Third. Says, Returnal was my game of the year, so it seemed appropriate to make my donation now. Thanks to all the staff and runners and for everything you do. My money goes to Majora's Mask in the Zelda Bid War because it's objectively the better choice. I don't know, I'm leaning towards Ocarina of Time, but I can be convinced otherwise. Keep those donations coming. We also have a $250 run, or $250 donation from Some Dude Tempest that says, great run, great cause, donation goes to Runner's Choice for the incentive. We have a $25 donation from They the Ames, who says, it's our boy, TheCrankMachine. So proud of you, Ink. My favorite person hosting one of my favorite games. Also, $5 pun train. Thank you so much. Big shout out to my SO, everyone. Also, for that pun train, I opened the floodgates for puns at the beginning of my shift. I don't know where they all are. Keep the puns coming. I want to read them. All right, everyone. It seems like it's probably a good time to talk about one of our sponsors, so we'll be right back after a brief message about them. All right, it's Devolver Digital. I love these people. All right, it's a Devolver Digital. There's a lot to love about these folks, and we're going to zero in on something specific, Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem. Now, as a game, Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem took an unusual path to development. It was started as an ambitious project by Timelock Studio, which is a longtime Serious Sam community modding team. It quickly evolved into a standalone expansion as the scope kept getting bigger, and under the guidance of the original development company, Crow Team, it grew to be what it is now. And now we have a game that is co-developed by Timelock Studio, Crow Team, and published by, you guessed it, Devolver Digital. Look forward to it on January 25th. If you would like to learn more, check out devolver.link/Siberian Mayhem. Welcome back, everyone. I got some stuff for you. We got a $25 donation from Anthony Prime that says, thanks to everyone for all your work in this event. Less than 3. Well, thank you. All right, everyone. It looks like the holidays are on overdrive because we have a incredible thing for you guys. Check out one of the greatest additions to GDQ, the daily recap. Take it away.
Thank you so much. Welcome everyone back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2022. Hope y'all just enjoyed the PS5 block. That's right. We found 4 of the only runners in the world who own them and happen to also do speed runs. It's great. I am joining you today. I am Spike Vegeta. I am joined by my good friends and co-hosts Kung Fu Fruit Cup and Fiesel. How are you both doing today?
Awesome.
Hey,
doing great.
Another great day of the marathon, I will say.
Yeah, 24 more awesome hours of nonstop pulse-pounding speed running in your face the entire time. And you all in chat, the pace of the donations, absolutely ridiculous. Thank y'all so much. Let's keep it up throughout the week. Let's hit $1 million before this is over. That's right. I'm talking about this recap right here.
Now, you have like 9 minutes. Let's go.
Right.
That'd be cool. That'd be one to put on the fridge right there.
That would be amazing.
That'd be a moment. But let's look back at the last 24 hours of awesome experience and talk about just some of our favorite moments. We're going to focus in on a couple of kind of specific blocks of games in a way, particularly the NES block, Ratchet and Clank runs, and some big Final Fantasy runs that went off during this last 24 hours of GDQ. Fiesel, I'm going to kick it over to you first for, I believe we decided it is called the Cryon Conquest.
I think that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So the NES block, one of the features of that Cryon Conquest, you have a race between KLM and Stone Clive. And if you think you're watching a Mega Man game, you pretty much are. See, we're clipping up into the ceiling, and we're just going to zip. And we're just going to keep doing that. This is like a Mega Man game, but more broken. It's like a more broken version of Mega Man game, but it's got all the same great items that let you do all the fun stuff. And yeah, if you haven't played this one, you should try it.
Including wall sliding.
Right, including wall sliding. Well, let's clip a little bit
just
more.
Literally any wall. They're just like, yeah, this one looks good. I can zip into it. You ask the runners, like, what gets you there? Oh, just any wall. It's fine.
Yeah, any wall. You just clip anywhere. It's fine. Anyway, it was a very close race. Came down to just the final boss fight, just super close. I won't say how it ended, but really a good race. Good game all around.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. We've had a lot of super close races at this GDQ. I want to jump over now to the first of 2 big Final Fantasy runs that we had today. This one being Final Fantasy 13. I know a lot of people in the community consider this to be one of the best speed runs in all of RPGs. And right here, you've got an instance. If you look at the UI down there, yeah, you've got a oh bleep kind of moment right there from our runner, Kayurun, that basically what's going on in this fight is that there's all sorts of pre-fight setup. He's buffed all of his different characters in very specific ways. And if any one of them die, then it is a retry on the fight and many minutes lost. If we look back at the UI, there was one point where Frame perfectly throws an elixir to save one of them right at the bottom of the screen, went all the way down to 1 HP and came all the way back, literally from the brink of death. Got a tight expression out of them. This was an amazing run. Make sure you go back and watch all 4 hours and 42 minutes or so of it. It was definitely worth the watch. And speaking of worth the watch,
yes,
we had Ratchet and Clank
another game that has a couple from the series. This is the original Ratchet and Clank. This was from Delta Doid, who did a bunch of tricky jumps. You see a lot of like long hover combos with like wrench swiping and menuing and all kinds of things happening. So right here specifically, and I'm sure we'll see it again one more time, but this is a very tricky series of jumps in a row to do a skip that honestly doesn't even save that much time. So it's pretty marathon risky, but fortunately gets it first try, which is, well, almost first try. You saw that like quick pause and reload, but enough to still save time on the run. So this kind of thing happens all throughout. This is just one example of many things of just going through walls and like hovering way past where you're supposed to be going. And that happens all the way until the very end of the game, where like the last few things you see is just like continue like menu hovers until you get to the end and hit a button and you're done. It was great.
I
perfect.
absolutely love watching Ratchet and Clank speedruns. It's one of those, as a series, it's kind of like Sonic, 3D Mario, some of these where they don't miss. They're just always really, really good.
Mhm.
Ratchet and Clank 1 is probably one of the less broken games out of the original PS2 trilogy, putting on an absolute clinic today.
surprisingly. Yeah, plus, yeah, it's just there's just so much like movement tech constantly. Like I totally agree. It's like up there with those other types of the other genres, those other series. It's just constant movement. Like there's always something you can do, always something going on. Yeah.
All
But I
right.
know that's not all.
No, that's just our
That's
first
not
sweep of
all.
games. Let's kick it back over to Feasel talking about Willow here.
All right, we're jumping back into the nest block from this morning.
hat.
Seth Dresch playing Willow. Okay, so here's the story here. A number of years ago, I did a speed run of Willow. I posted it on YouTube, and a random YouTube commentator pointed out that you can just walk through that wall. I never found that. But thank you, random YouTube commentator, for teaching us that you can advance to much farther in the game. And we skipped like 25 minutes worth of this run, jumping all the way ahead there. And so, yeah, something good does come from YouTube comments every now and then.
Oh my God.
Wild.
99.9% of the time you're like, whatever,
Right.
they don't know what they're
Yeah.
talking about. This is the one time you're like, how?
Right.
Whatever. Also got to give a big shout outs to the hat right there. I love
Right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Seth's hat, definitely killing it here
Yeah.
on TDQ. Kicking it back over, we've got the other Final Fantasy run that just went down recently, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate right here. And you've just got, I love watching speedruns of Final Fantasy VII Remake. So cool. Love the juggling that we're seeing right here from generically named, coming in second place in this race, but still pulling off the boss quick kill right here. All the utilization of all the different synergy arts to lock down this final boss right up until the face skip right here to get the quick kill right afterwards. Just love the juggle between the two characters right here. Just watch it come in right here. From the left, from the right, from the left, from the right, juggling it all the way down to the stagger. Beautiful stuff. Always just watching the combat of this game. This was another great race. The winner spoiled on this clip right here. Make sure you go check it out. Always fun to watch.
Speaking
And
of
then we got
things
one
that
more rat game here. Go ahead. Yeah, Kung Fu.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of very like things that look really
Right.
fast and smooth. So this is like right after Mobius has gotten the hover boots. This allows for some really hilariously fast traveling movement. So you can see in this kind of like open world style planet, he's able to use the newly found hover boots to then use a slanted wall to propel him forward. I believe this is called wrench boosting, and this is in the middle of a new game plus run, which already has like infinite ammo, infinite health, so you can just blast your way through enemies. So it's just one of the many things that you can use to just propel yourself forward in this game. Not only was it like a really fun game, but again, like we're saying with Ratchet and Clank series in general, it's just always something like high speed going on, like so much movement happening. It was awesome. Really good run by Mobius.
God, it's like Breath of the Wild flying across
Right, that's what it
Hyrule
looks
Field.
like.
It's so much fun watching that. Well, we covered 3 awesome just blocks of games, but again, tons of hours of games going out this marathon. And I want to take a second to focus in on a game that happened just after last night's daily recap. We're talking about Jaxler and his 3-minute world record, the world record by 3 minutes of Pumpkin Jack right here. I don't know about you two. I've never heard of this game before. This was a super sick speed run to watch. Was able to get this skip right here, and you can see the reaction. The hands fully coming off of the keyboard right there, popping off.
The third person, I believe, to actually get this trick, and not only that, but he's the third person in the marathon to get another world record. So it's just like one thing after another happening in this run. It's we definitely made sure we needed to say something about it because it was incredible, especially after the daily recap yesterday. We're like, oh, look at these world records. This is amazing. And then it just gets followed up with even more. So it's been like really impressive to watch and see. You can see how absolutely overjoyed Jaxler is about all of this. It was so much fun.
Yeah, love to see the emotion right there. Is a lot of times that is the grind, chat. You might not know Jaxler puts a lot of times into his speedruns, even a game you've maybe never heard of, like a Pumpkin Jack. And I always like to give a shout out to the games committee for finding games like that. May have never heard of it, but it is a sick speedrun. So I'm so glad we got to see that last night.
Absolutely. So it was just another wonderful day of runs. This is what happens every time we do a daily recap. We're like, oh my gosh, the runs today were so good. It's so fun. So in that regard, like I'm sure we have some more amazing runs coming up tomorrow. What are you all looking forward to?
Well, Fu, you know what real English is my muffin? The Tuesday night horror.
Tuesday night horror block. Okay, yeah, okay. We knew we had to mention this, of course. As long as just don't loop again, I swear. Like, please don't. Okay, we're good. You know what? I'll take it. I just spoke with Dices just a little bit ago. Very excited for Dead Rising coming up. Not only that, we have like Pion, we have Faith, we have Eternal Darkness. It's just a bunch. It'll take you all throughout the night until the early morning, which I know Spike has some stuff that he's excited for that kind of leads past the actual horror block itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I had talked about how it was a connecting piece to the horror block, but anybody who is either staying up till like 6 in the morning or just waking up super early, get some Folgers in your cup or some sort of coffee you're into, you got to watch this We Love Katamari run. It's going to be so good. That's always such a good series for speedrunning. And Harutomo got to run an interview with them a couple days ago, pre-recorded for it, and just absolutely the most wholesome speedrunner I've ever talked to. Super, super cool runner. Make sure to check it out. And Pokemon Crystal Key Item Rando, you got to check it out. Keys, somewhere he'll come in first, second, third, probably third, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, man.
And Crystal and shenanigans, and yeah, it's going to be great. Keys, how about you?
All right. Well, what's exciting me is tomorrow morning we've got the Sonic block, and that's going to be pretty cool, including every pirate's favorite Sonic game, Sonic R.
No!
Right? No, actually, forget all that. My pick is going to be GeoGuessr. GeoGuessr co-op run in the afternoon. That's actually my pick. Well, no. My pick is going to be Diddy Kong Racing in the evening. That's my pick for the day.
That's also
Wow.
I did not hear this joke before we started tonight, and I gotta say it's a little upsetting, but it's all right. I'm gonna let you have this one today,
Right.
please. Okay.
I was like, a pirate's favorite Sonic.
Oh, yeah. It's a thinker. You got to think about it.
But yeah, Sonic Block will be great.
Yeah, it is an absolutely, once again, Chad, believe it or not, a packed schedule here at GDQ. Bangers left and right. We are not missing. And one more, again, we just opened up the incentive for it. We need $100,000 to play Rocket League by 4 of the best Rocket League players in the world. You didn't know Rocket League was a speed run? We're going to make it one tomorrow night. If you guys throw down the donations, with that, we're going to kick it back up to the front to the Crank Machine. Take it away. Have some more AGDQ 2022. Later, gamers.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone, welcome back. It's prime time. Coming up are Dead Rising and Tormented Souls, but unfortunately, my shift has come to an end. I would like to take this opportunity to roll out the red carpet to welcome our very talented next host. Until then, I am the Crank Machine, and I will be signing off. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Well, well, well. Hello there, internet chat room. I'm looking at you right now. This is Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online, powered by Twitch. We are here for the Prevent Cancer Foundation, and I am an eternal enigma. And I am here. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. What I'm about to say has nothing to do with Tuesday night, but forget that. What it means is it is now time for a horror block here on GDQ, and I am proud to be the host of the first two runs of this block. Coming up in just a moment, we've got Agdisis running Dead Rising. We've got Rebecca RE running Tormented Souls. So you better get ready. And you know what? We're here for it. I say it's time that we go ahead. I say it's time that we go ahead. I say it's time that we go ahead and get to it. So let's just get to it. Here's Agdisis with Dead Rising.